Welcome everybody to Young Citizens of the World, the largest youth global icon network where kids do the interviews. I'm Catherine Warren, your host and incoming board chair. And in Canada and elsewhere, we do a land acknowledgement. Today, I'm speaking to all of you from the home of the Coast Salish people, and I'm grateful to join you on this land and for what we can learn when we uplift people's voices. Today, our special guest is a singer whose voice many people around the world already know. When the movie The Greatest Showman was released, the song Never Enough swept audiences off their feet. It became a global hit, and Loren Allred was the powerful voice behind the microphone, but off the screen. Since then, she's stepped into the spotlight. Loren has performed with Michael Bublé, toured with the legendary Andrea Bocelli, and shared her music on international stages in a memorable appearance on Britain's Got Talent. Loren's journey is about talent, resilience, and finding the courage to own your own voice. Please join me in welcoming Loren Allred.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for such a sweet introduction. I'm so excited to be here.
Pleasure. Loren, when you think back to being a kid, did you know that you always wanted to be a singer, or was there a moment when you realized this is really what I'm meant to do?
I think maybe around age 12, I just knew deep in my gut that I wanted to be a singer. And I spent so many hours a day just singing to my favorite singers. And I really felt like this is what I was meant to do.
And I understand you grew up in a musical home, that your mom is a classical soprano and voice teacher, and your dad is a conductor. What was it like growing up with music all around you?
Oh my goodness, it was very special. My mom and dad used to perform in concerts together, even while she was pregnant with me and my three younger sisters. I just remember waking up in the morning to hearing my mom teaching voice lessons in the house, and we would always attend my dad's choir concerts. And then every night before we went to bed, my mom would sing to us and teach us how to harmonize. So it really was just a wonderful way to learn about music and find my own voice within that environment.
Beautiful. That's a happy thought of being sung to sleep that way.
Very lucky.
Very fortunate. Well, now I'd like to turn the microphone over to student council members of Cloverdale Catholic School in Surrey, British Columbia, and their principal, Clive Hea.
We are the student leadership team from Cloverdale Catholic School. We are so privileged to be able to ask you questions today. My name is Ava, and my question is, many people know your voice from the song Never Enough in The Greatest Showman, but for a long time, people didn't know who you were. How did you stay confident in yourself while waiting for others to recognize your talent?
I know people did not know who I was, but they heard my voice for a long time. And I knew that getting the story out there was really important for me to build a career. But I wouldn't say that it affected my confidence that much when I was singing behind the scenes because I tried to focus on why I did what I did, which is because I love music and I love connecting with people. And I think if you focus too much on the applause or the recognition, then when there are those moments in between accomplishments, your confidence will kind of have a dip. So if you focus on why you're doing it, I think that's a good place to start with maintaining your confidence no matter what.
My name is Sophia, and my question is, a lot of students feel nervous speaking, performing, or leading in front of others. Do you still get nervous before performing, and how do you calm yourself when you do?
I do still get nervous, and I think I've mentally prepared myself for that to maybe never go away. I think no matter how old you become or how many years you do this, you will still get nervous. And I think that's actually a great sign because it means that you care and you want to do a good job. But I have come up with some good coping skills for when I get nervous. And one of those skills is breathing. I feel like when you're nervous, you're really in your head, and it's good to kind of bring yourself back to your body. So I'll take deep breaths, I'll hold it for a few seconds and exhale, and I'll do that, maybe a handful of times. And then another coping skill that helps me a lot, especially before really big performances, is that I will visualize the entire day of the performance going well. So I'll visualize it from when I wake up to every single moment in the performance to even afterwards, feeling great about myself, celebrating with my friends and family. So that if I can visualize it going well, then that means it's possible. So I'm kind of taking myself out of a negative headspace and putting it into a positive headspace. And that really works for me. And also making sure I'm prepared as possible. Because if you're really prepared, even if you're a little bit sick or, other variables are kind of against you, at least you feel prepared and confident in that way. So those are the coping skills that help me. But of course, I still feel nervous. So that's just human. Thank you for such a great question.
Do you think that some of that nervous energy actually adds to the performance?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like there are times where I feel a little bit too calm, and then I don't do as well as when I kind of have that adrenaline pumping through my veins. So it's not all negative, although it can feel that way in the moment.
Hmm. And most audiences are quite generous, so they're very likely on your side.
Yes, that's another thing I have to remember, and I do think about that often, that people are coming and they're excited. It's not a whole audience of critics. So people want you to do well. And, if someone is very judgmental, then I don't really need their opinion anyway. So
Fair.
it's just
Well said.
reframing things so you can feel better and proud of yourself, no matter if you did make a mistake or not.
Hmm. Hmm. Students, back to you.
My name is Evie, and my question is, leadership is always being in the spotlight. When you're working with other musicians or a team, how do you show leadership?
I have learned over the years, because as a performer, it's not all about performing. You also kind of you have to be a leader because you're working with a lot of people that are looking to you to, tell them what to do. And I find that having a mutual respect for people goes a long way. Knowing to trust them to do what they do best makes them want to do better. Um, and realizing it's not all about you. They have their own skills, and you are meant to inspire them to be the best they can be. So I feel like instead of kind of overcompensating and demanding respect, you're more the better way to go about it is trusting people and bringing out the best in people, and that's the best way to gain respect as a leader. I hope that makes sense.
Mhm. And there's that reciprocity because as you build that trust, it makes you a better leader.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
My name is Jaden, and my question is, can you tell us about a challenge or a setback you faced in your career and what you learned from it?
So I feel like when The Greatest Showman came out and everyone was singing along to the song Never Enough, of course, that was a beautiful moment and a great accomplishment for me, but it created this feeling of intimidation because I felt like I needed to follow up with something just as good, if not better. And I was nervous that maybe that would be the one thing I would be known for the rest of my career. But I just remembered to kind of focus again on why I'm doing this and the lessons that I needed to learn. And so even if people aren't seeing kind of me pumping out new music constantly, I am learning so much every single day. And so just understanding that that progress isn't always on display makes me feel better about what I'm doing to prepare for kind of the next project that I put out. So that's kind of a hurdle that I've faced, but I just continue to work hard every single day to make myself better in every single way that I can.
Loren, are you able to tell us what you're preparing for now and how you prepare?
Of course. So I have kind of taken a little step back to recenter myself artistically. I have been working with really wonderful writers and producers and working on my very first debut album as an artist. So I'm kind of transitioning over from being known as a singer and hopefully being known as an artist now. So I just want it to be a really personal project um, that kind of shows who I am outside of just my voice. So that's what I'm working on, and I'm taking my time to do that now. And I'm really excited about the songs that I've been able to write. So that's what I'm working on.
We're excited to hear it when it comes out. We want to hear from you first. That'll be incredible. Students, back to you with
My name is Noel, and my question is, what advice would you give to students who want to grow as leaders or follow their passions, even if they're not sure they're good enough yet?
I remember I was in my early 20s and I was going to get my hair cut in a salon, and I was having a really, really hard time. And the hairdresser could tell that I was having a hard time. And she said, "What's going on? What's wrong?" And I said, "I just feel a little bit lost. I don't feel like I'm where I want to be. I'm confused about my career, and I just feel, impatient, and I want to figure it out, and I want to do a good job." And she said, "Well, how old are you?" And I told her I'm 21, and she said, "Oh, that sounds like you're exactly where you're supposed to be at that age." So I know that being young, you can feel a little bit impatient, but you're exactly where you're supposed to be because everyone starts somewhere. And all you can do is just keep learning and keep growing, and you will end up where you're meant to be. So I know it's hard. It's really hard in that in-between phase, but everything does work out as long as you stay focused and try to grow every single day. So that's my answer to that.
it sounds like you got exactly what you needed from that conversation in the
Yeah.
moment.
Yes, it always stuck with me because when you're young, it's so hard to see into the future, and being in this in-between phase is very, very uncomfortable. But just trusting the timing was the most important message she could have given me that day, and I always remember that.
But it's a credit to who you were as a young woman that you opened up and you shared that vulnerability. And what I've learned from that, just listening to you now, is that when you do open up, you often get exactly what you're meant to receive.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay to be honest, and it's okay to acknowledge that you're just ambitious and you just want to do a good job, and maybe that's why you feel nervous, and all of these things are human emotions, and it's okay to give yourself that grace because it will take you to where you're meant to be.
Thank you, Loren. Now we would love to hear you sing from Never Enough or another favorite song, maybe something you're working on now. What would you like to share?
So I could sing a little bit of Never Enough or a little bit of the song from Final Fantasy VII. I don't know if we could do a vote.
We
Do
can let
both.
the students choose or a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. We're gonna do a little bit of both.
bit of both.
Okay, let's see. I'll do No Promises to Keep first. Let's see. Um, Walking city streets with worn cobblestones, struggling against the crowd and finding ourselves all alone. Fate and destiny is no guarantee. Still, I hope someday you'll come and find me. Still, I know someday you'll come and find me. So that's a little bit of No Promises to Keep. Thank you. All right, here's a little bit of Never Enough. If you want to sing along, you should. Okay. I'm trying to hold my breath, let it stay this way. Can't let this moment end. You set off a dream in me, getting louder now. Can you hear it echoing? Take my hand. Will you share this with me? 'Cause darling, without you. Okay, sing with me. All the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough, never be enough for me.
Brava! How wonderful to have a private concert, Loren. Thank you so much. We are soon to be meeting your collaborator, the legendary composer Uematsu. And Young Citizens of the World, we like to pass the baton from one inspiring guest to the next. So I'm wondering if you would like to share a short greeting for him that we can deliver personally.
Konnichiwa, Uematsu Nobuo-san. It's Loren Allred. I'm so excited that you will be able to speak to the students that I just met. I know that your conversation will inspire them just as much as you have inspired me. Thank you for touching so many generations with your music. I look forward to seeing the conversation that you have with the students. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Loren, what a powerful message, and we appreciate your words and your beautiful voice. So on behalf of Young Citizens of the World, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your heart and your incredible artistry with our 1.5 million young people across the globe.
Thank you so much for having me, and good luck to all the students out there. This was such an honor. Thank you.